What is going on to all my Moon Knight fans out there, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again, breaking down this sixth and final episode of Season 1 of Moon Knight, which was titled Gods and Monsters, an episode in which we see Marc going on a rescue mission. Layla gets a new best friend, and we got a third personality to talk about in a post-credit scene. We're discussing that and so much more in today's spoiler review. Before we get into the discussion, make sure you're checking me out on all my other social media accounts. If you all are new to the channel and love early movie reviews, TV breakdowns, and live streams, well, come and join the community today by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. And as you all can see on the screen now, if you enjoy what I had to say about this sixth episode of Moon Knight, well, make sure you're liking the review as well as sharing it. But more importantly, go ahead and share your thoughts on the sixth episode in the comments, your favorite moments, your least favorite moments, your thoughts on the post-credit scene. What are your overall thoughts on the series, and where does it rank amongst the other Disney Plus MCU shows for you? And of course, where do you think we'll see Moon Knight again? Will it be in a season 2, a movie, or a Midnight Sun spinoff? Let's discuss that in the comment section. So before we get into the review, just a quick little plug. We will be going live today, 5 p.m. Central Time. Myself, Amanda, and Chris will be breaking down this episode, talking pros, cons, overall thoughts of the series, and where does it rank for the other shows for us. We'll be talking Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, spoiler-free review, and Fantastic Four needs a new director. We'll be sharing our thoughts on that. So again, that link for the stream will be in the description of this video. Hope to see you all there. And speaking of Multiverse, your boy did enter the Multiverse of Madness a little bit early, so I do have my full spoiler-free review of that movie in the description of this video as well as on the channel now, so check it out. But hey, we're here to talk about Moon Knight, Episode 6, full spoilers ahead. We open the episode with Hero talking his stuff, talking about he puts the scarab on Marc's chest with the 2 bullet holes. Whoever's in there, Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, I'm here to heal the world. As we see Layla, who's Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, no one remembers that she's in the same tomb. Like, I thought that she left, but she was still in there. Takes out the man with ease, takes that scarab, and she's on a mission to save the world. But as we see at this point, Hero has his new cane that's been upgraded. He is judging the souls of the police officers that's stopping them on the road, with one of them surviving. But speaking of surviving, such a cool scene here. We know that Tirouette can raise the dead of a certain extent, having ties to the afterlife. She's communicating like a telephone to Layla through the dead bodies. I thought that was so cool and creepy, as she's telling her, you can't take him on alone. You're gonna need Khonshu, but you also might need me, and we can use each other as an avatar, which we'll talk about that cool moment a little bit later. Let me know your thoughts on that cool scene, and then communicating through the dead. As we see Hero goes to the chambers of gods, he takes out the other avatars with ease. For a half a second, I thought that the other gods were going to come up in their real form and fight Ammit, who's rising at this point. That would have been so cool. They might be saving that for a film. But again, we see that Ammit is risen, which I'm not going to lie, some of the visual effects were a little shaky, but the look of Ammit was pretty clean if you ask me. As we finally learn and kind of get an understanding of Hero. What's up with the glass shoes, bro? Like, why do you put glass in your shoes? Well, we learned that his lack of balance has been going on, and he believes that he's about to die now, but she tells him, no, your death will be delayed, and it's time for you to serve as my avatar. So yet again, he's bouncing from gods to gods, and he's like, you can take me, but again, going back to him and his scales being unbalanced, that explains why he was like torturing himself with putting the glass in his shoes. But also, there's some hypocrisy going on with those two. They're a perfect match, I'll just say that. But getting back into it while that's going on, meanwhile, we see that Khonshu is back and he's ready to go to action. Layla, I'm gonna need your soul. And she's like, hell no, I know what you did to Marc and Steven. I don't want you inside of me and corrupting my mind. Nah, buddy, we ain't gonna be doing that. But she changes her mind a little bit later for a better god, if you ask me. Someone with a little bit more better personality. We'll say, I'll just leave it to that. But we must, they talk about rebinding Ammit and figuring everything out as Khonshu comes face to face with Ammit, and they're having that conversation. Oh, the time has not been good for you, alluding to why he looks so like skeleton-like. He probably looked very similar to her as far as like live in the flesh, which I wonder if we'll ever get a flashback of young Khonshu back in the day. But it's at this point where they're talking about the decision of Hero being her avatar, and we get them fighting one of two fights that we get, kind of like Godzilla versus Kong. And I thought that their fights were clean. Like I said, the CGI was a little wonky at points, but seeing Khonshu and Ammit going head-to-head in this episode was something I was here for. With the show not having that much action, this finale definitely delivered the action. But to deliver as far as an overall finale, we'll get to that a little bit later. But back in with Marc, who's in the field of reeds. He has his heart filled. He's at peace. It's silence. There's no other voices in his head, which for a moment, I'm thinking that he was going to maybe take that life, but no, we know our heroes have to continue their journey. He doesn't want peace anymore. He wants to go on a rescue mission to save Steven. It's such a cool moment here because going back to the first episodes, we know Marc and Steven, they couldn't have been further apart even though they're in the same body, right? But as the last 2 weeks have shown us that there is a care, there is an emotion, there is a connection, there's a brotherhood between the two, right? So we get this very cool moment of them finally embracing each other and kind of essentially balancing their hearts together. He doesn't want to abandon Steven, which I love that callback. And you all know I wasn't the biggest Steven fan, but he definitely has grown on me. And I love that moment that they finally have come to unstoning each other. The beef between the two are finally over and they have accepted each other as the gates open and it's time to get into action as we see them rise again. Moon Knight, who we haven't seen, I guess we saw him last week with the flashback, but it's been a couple weeks since we've seen him in action, no doubt. But we finally get Moon Knight back in action. But hey, there's a deal in place. I love that Steven is being useful. He's very smart, very intelligent. He renegotiates the terms with the whole being the fist of vengeance with Khonshu. He has him promise that you will let us free once we take care of all this. And again, Moon Knight in action. He flies. We see the whole, Khonshu obviously can change day to light. It's nighttime and we see Moon Knight rise and fly in the sky. There were some cool, strong visuals that we got, and that was one of them, no doubt. Cutting back to Lila, who allows Tirouette to serve as the avatar, and she learns that her father is actually at peace, which I like that kind of moment there. And you talk about dope. Now, I will say, the look was cool. The whole it was a bit corny. When the camera came in, she's like, looking at the camera, kind of breaking the fourth wall, but she looked clean. She looked like her, kind of a MCU version of a knockoff Wonder Woman in a good way, because I love Wonder Woman, but I'm not judging Layla. She was cool. She was badass, and I hope we get more of her in the future because she can, her and Tirouette, they make a good duet. I'll just say that. As we see that the light show begins and we see the judgment is happening, Ammit is getting larger and larger. I'm like, okay, yeah, definitely Kong versus Godzilla vibes because we see Khonshu getting bigger as well. While we get this fight, that giant monsters, or gods, I should say, fight each other while Marc, Steven, and Lila, or should I say Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, and Tirouette Lila, we got to come up with a name with them. I don't know if there's a name for her in the comics, but we get this fight going on, and again, it's time to fight Hero. So we got these fights going on happening, and I'm not entirely sure on how Steven, he talked about, wait till you see all new skills here. He's kicking ass. I will say him as, Mr. Knight was pretty cool. I just don't understand how he was able to obtain those fighting abilities. Like, did they plug him into the Matrix and, taught him how to do martial arts? But hey, I'm not complaining because your boy was missing the action for many, many weeks in this series, and we finally get the action. It was pretty clean. Moon Knight was looking a little second to Mr. Knight when we were fighting. I'll just say that Steven has come a long way. He has come a long way, no doubt. Very cool action scene. We get the moment where the hero is now being born because this little girl sees Lila. Are you an Egyptian god? She says yes. It's a little corny, but it's still stuck the landing because it is pretty cool to kind of see the young girl seeing a woman warrior fighter Egyptian god. That stuff is pretty cool. I will admit that. She was a beast. She was a beast, I will say. But cool scene between all that. Khonshu and Marc are both losing their fights at this point, but things kind of switch, and I literally mean switch. That third personality comes up, but again, this is a little bit of a criticism. God damn it, Marvel. I want to see Jake Lockley. I want to see that action. I want to see how he was able to overturn the hands and defeat Hero. I want to see him killing those men on a rooftop in episode 3. I want to see those moments. I get you got to tease it, but god damn it, it's the finale. Give me that moment. But it was cool. We don't know who it is quite yet, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we see that they have to bind Ammit and Hero, which they do, and we see Khonshu kill him, finish him, finish him. Marc is going to. Layla stops him. You know what? I'm done being your little puppet. Go ahead and release us. He's like, fine. And he says, if you want him dead, do it yourself. So they're released. They're at peace now. And we cut to back to the mental facility, which we know is in the mind of Marc, Spectre, and Steven. They have a conversation. The third personality makes his appearance yet again. They notice that Hero is bleeding, which kind of lets them know, okay, it's all in our head, and they decide to save the world, which they break from their mental binding of their mental breakdowns and the trauma that we know Marc and Steven, which we got from last week, which was so cool. We wrap the episode in the apartment of Steven. We see the two fish, which is kind of a great parallel between everything coming together. Two fish in the tank. Now Marc and Steven and the third person we talk about here in a second, all working together. So a cool way to end the episode. Very curious on what happened to Layla. Where did she go? I guess, was she the one that brought, as we'll get into this post-credit scene, she the one that brought Hero into the mental facility? Kind of curious on how all that kind of shook up, but really cool way to end the show. I like the action. Some of the visual effects weren't as super clean as I would have liked them to. Like when Moon Knight was risen again, it kind of, you could tell it was obviously a CGI suit. We all knew that from the very first time we saw him, but it was very apparent in this episode. But still cool to get the action, to get the moment that Steven and Marc finally come together. All that stuff led to that point. Layla in action. She was super cool. Tawet, super cool god as well. But we got to talk about a post-credit scene here. As we transition to seeing Hero in an actual mental facility, he's picked up by a mystery person in a white limo, and we see Khonshu looking super clean and fresh, almost wearing the Mr. Knight suit there, borrowing it for a hot second. Khonshu tells him that Marc is a very troubled individual. If he thinks I was just going to take Layla, no, he's a broken individual. I'm going to continue to use him. Matter of fact, knock, knock, which I don't know why he knocked on that glass and not the actual glass, but neither here nor there. I want to introduce you to my new friend, Jake Lockley, who's speaking Spanish, and I think he says, today is your day to lose. Bang, bang, bang. As a fan of mobster films, seeing him being killed that way, I was here for it. Very Goodfellas, no less. Joe Pesci taking out Hero at that point. Very cool. They drive away. We see a little bit of the moon in the sky, but also we're in London. And my mind went to, man, who else is in London at this point? Well, okay, Moon Knight, Jake is now here, Marc and Steven, Moon Knight, Khonshu, they're in there. But who else is in London? Well, last time I remember being in London was in The Eternals, and Kit Harington as Black Knight talking to Blade. Midnight Suns, can we get a Marvel? Can we get that spinoff? I was very upset that they didn't say Moon Knight will return. I didn't have to say season 2, which there was a whole speculation when Marvel released the promotion for this episode. A couple days ago, it said series finale, but then it said season finale, so that kind of opened the floodgates. So, season 2, which they didn't announce. Hopefully they will sooner rather than later, but I wish they would have said Moon Knight will return. I don't know why they didn't, but neither here nor there. Overall thoughts finale, stronger than most. I still have Loki as my favorite, and then probably this one. Well, I really enjoyed the finale of What If, I'm not going to lie. So, okay. So I would rank the finale Loki, this, What If, WandaVision, and Falcon and Winter Soldier is probably after WandaVision. Then I'll put the WandaVision one as and Hawkeye. Hawkeye is my least favorite finale. But overall, though, had fun with the finale. Thoughts of the series, we'll talk about it more on the live stream. Fun series. I enjoyed the tackling of the DID. I cannot speak highly enough of Oscar Isaac's performance. Very happy to see more of Layla in the future, and Tawet, and just the conversation and the battle amongst the gods, because, hey, those avatars were taken out. Can someone capture those, imprisoned gods and use them to their advantage, or see those gods who were in prison? Why were they in prison, and them coming back? That would be cool to kind of explore. But I enjoyed all those elements. As far as dislikes of the series, wanted more Moon Knight, wanted more action, and wish that Marvel would just stop at this 6-episode nonsense. Like, this easily could have been 8 to 9 episodes, which it could have fleshed out more things, gave us more of the action, gave us more of the backstory. Bushman, I thought that he was going to be involved in the series. Midnight Man, I think was the name. We obviously know RIP to the actor that passed away, but I thought that they were going to have an appearance, but maybe after him passing away, they probably maybe had to cut that out. But yeah, it was really interesting. No really big Marvel cameo for the first MCU show, which was, cool to know that they can still focus on solo characters. But overall, for me, I still have Loki, WandaVision, and then I will probably put this at 3, followed by Falcon and Winter Soldier, What If, and then Hawkeye. So again, we'll talk about that a little bit later on live stream, but overall, I'm pretty satisfied as a Marvel fan. It's not the best of the best. It's definitely not the worst. Like I said, it's my 3rd favorite series so far. And I want more Moon Knight. Marvel, make it happen. Season 2 movie, Midnight Suns. Let's have that announcement any day now. But hey, thank you all for watching these reviews. I can't thank you enough for the support. Again, we'll be talking more Moon Knight today, 5 p.m. Central Time. Link of that live stream in the description. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, spoiler-free review. Spoiler review coming soon, as well as a live discussion over this coming weekend. Keep an eye out for all the content. Thank you for sticking around to this point in the video. A friendly reminder to like, share, comment, subscribe, and come and join the community. Thank you all again for watching the review. Hope you're staying safe. As you can see on the screen now, subscribe to the channel. Come and join the live stream. I can't even talk. Watch my Doctor Strange review. We'll catch you all on the next breakdown.